Right, we've come away from the last place, from Martin's place. It was quite high up in the hills. It was getting all the weather, the worst of the weather. It was windy, it was thunder and lightning, it was actually throwing down the rain. I'm soaking wet. So I decided to come to the other side of town, or back to the golf course, which Martin used to own. Like a different world. No wind, near enough clear skies, a little bit of cloud cover, no rain. There's one or two rabbits out, so hopefully we're going to make up for a bit of a loss on the last one, and we're going to make up for it here. We've got the kit, just hope that we can get onto the rabbits here. Right, we're getting a bit of cloud cover now, we can see it coming in. Hopefully it's not bringing rain with it, but we're going to use the cloud cover now to walk down this tree line, down to dry stone wall, down by the dry stone wall, using these areas to cover his movements, and hopefully get into some of these rabbits that's down the far end. I've just picked up on a thermal. They sat right in the middle, so they might be a little bit too far from the wall for even though it's FAC, but it's probably a little bit too far for that. We might have to try and move into them and get them that way, but cloud cover's here. We're going to try and walk down this edge and try and get into them that way. Nice little shot. The gun's here at 45. That was showing 50 plus. I'm not sure exactly what it were. So I just walked in a few little yards, so I can just take the straight shot. Not mess about with old over thermal. The crosshair, I've just got a little red dot crosshair, so I've not got no older marks. So get close to it, get the shot, get it bang on the zero shot. Nice one to get. On to the next one. Just basically come round the corner from the last one we had, the 50 odd yarder. There's another one sat out, got the scope on it. It seemed a little bit unsettled. It's sort of done a bit of a circle like itself, gone round, it's moved a little bit further out. Probably same distance again, 50 something yards. And it's just Paul likes it. These H&Ns are absolutely smacking these rabbits straight down. The power in it, the hitting power is unbelievable. We probably need to talk more about these in the future, but like these are absolutely the business. So I better go and get this one picked up. No mistake with that one. I'm just scanning further down to the next sort of greens down here. It's a clump of trees. I can see a couple of rabbits in there just hiding behind the trees. We should be able to use the tree that's sat behind to mask my movement. We can use the tree to get towards it. Pulsar side. Hopefully she'll get another shot on. There's 4 to 5 around the bottom green. Let's see how we go. Let's try and get a few more. Right, that's the end of what I was going to call a good evening, but actually it's now 10 past 3 in the morning. We've been out since 8:30 last night. We're out with the Pulsar Duo and the Pulsar Telos, which is the brand new thermal spotter, which is going to take over from the Helion. It's literally come out of the box. Both of them come out of the boxes. One's gone straight in the gun, one's gone straight onto charge, and we've been straight out with it. It's actually literally arrived yesterday afternoon. So getting to grips with it has been a little bit straight in the field with it, rather than having half an hour to read the brochure and gen up on it. But initial thoughts, what a piece of kit. The conditions today have been shocking, as it always is when the cameraman turns up. We started off at Martin's place towards the North Yorkshire moors, and it was diabolical. The rain was coming down, we had thunder and lightning, the wind was picking up, and the storm, Agnes I believe they call it, is coming in, and it seemed like we got the first bit of it over there. We took an executive decision to leave that place, and we'll try and get back tomorrow perhaps, or definitely be back later in the week. And we're going to sort of head northwestish to the other side of Penrith to the golf course, which Martin used to own. This was like a different world altogether. The skies were clear, there's a little bit of cloud cover, the moon was out, it was calm, no wind, no rain. It was just like being in a different country. Straight away the rabbits were out on the field, so we was quite excited to see that, and we knew with the kit we've got, which I'm going to tell you again because I'm that impressed with it, the Pulsar Telos, the Pulsar Duo, I've got the Air Arms S510 TDR, and we're also using the H&N Field and Target 18 grain pellets, which have worked an absolute treat. That cameraman actually said to me tonight, he says that is absolutely knocking them straight over. So very, very impressed. Without this kit, I think we might have struggled. It's really helped us immensely because like the cloud cover came over and we were in total darkness. The thermal cut through the moisture in the air, and we ended up with 15 rabbits. In pretty much short order. We had a good 2.5, 3 hours perhaps on the other place, so we've been here what was it, 5 hours, something like that. Good wander around the golf course, just one circuit we did this time rather than 2 circuits, and we managed the 15 rabbits, so the greenkeeper's going to be well happy with that. Right, end of day 2, had some interesting shooting, interesting venues. We've been on the rabbits, in between the storm that were coming in, Storm Agnes. We had to wind, rain, thunder, lightning, soaked to the bone on one particular evening. The next day we went to the ferals on one of the farms of mine where I'd been before, took a few out, but it's more of a mopping up exercise at the moment. But we're getting rid of the last of the straddlers and the 1 or 2 that's coming in. Used the TDR sub 12 on the ferals around the barn, which worked really well. And on the rabbits we used the TDR S510 in FAC for that longer distance, which again worked really well. The other kit we've been using, Thomas Jacks have been brilliant in sending us a couple of items which are really, really pleased with. There's the Pulsar Duo. It's the DXP50. It's a combination of thermal scope and digital scope. It's not a night vision. It's a digital scope, and it works excellently. If you're in the field and you're picking things out with a scope, you can pick it out quite easily with thermal. Then you can really identify it with a digital scope, which for me would work really well on the squirrels, because obviously shooting grey squirrels, you've got red squirrels coming out, and I've a few instances where I've been checking out a squirrel on a feeder, sort of blink, turn around, pick something up, turn around, and the next thing there's a grey squirrel on there, or there's a red squirrel on there that's just took its place. And if you're looking at through a thermal and you've not noticed the change, then you could have problems. So excellent thing for identification, the digital day scope version, facility on it, which works really well. It's a standard sort of thing. There's internal battery and an external battery, which all fits in the top. It's chargeable by USB. Menu is accessed by the side, single press the side button, and then there's a dial where you can turn to access different sub menus and different applications in the menu. Record, zoom, and a swap between thermal and day scope, which is single press the button. You press the button, there's a dial on the front which turns the day scope, digital day scope on. Then once that's in the on position, you press the button at the back and it will swap between thermal and day scope. You've also got the facility, which is a great thing. You can have thermal main screen with a digital picture-in-picture, or you can have a digital main screen with a thermal picture-in-picture, or you can have digital on both or thermal on both. It's all in the settings, all quite easily done. Zero in, piece of cake. Obviously we swap the scope between this sub 12 and the FAC, and it's literally a couple of minutes with the zero facility, which is a standard thing now on these Pulsars. It's an awesome scope to be used in any situation, whether it's on the ferals with the sub 12, out on the rabbits, 2-2, or whichever you're hunting. This will work fine for you. And I think if you're looking at something, this is something really worth considering. The other part of the kit that Thomas Jack's been good enough to send us is the brand new Pulsar Telos LRF XP50. The XP50 obviously indicates it's the top of the range, and it's got the built-in rangefinder. I believe you can actually get one without the rangefinder in, which takes a bit of weight off. A nice little feature on this is obviously the front focus. There's also a front zoom magnification. That goes up to ×4 on that magnification, but there's also an internal digital one which will take you up to 10 times, which is interesting because this is going to replace the Helion, apparently. Now, the Helion went up to 20 times, which in thermal can be a little bit too much. We all know how much things pixelate. 10 times is perfect. Out at distance, short distance, 10 times is going to be a little bit too much. You don't need it because it's close. Out at distance, 10 times is much better than 20 times. For me, and for quite a few other people as well. Obviously, eye focus on the back. A nice rubber eye cap, which is always handy for keeping external light coming in. The buttons are all on the top as normal. The main power button, which also gives you a standby if you single click of it. There's a record button, which is the next one up. There's a menu access button, and then there's the up button, which also does other functions as well. There's and all the information to access and to control the thermal is all online and in a little booklet that comes with it. A few things I've made a note of that's different to the original Helion is the NETD on the Helion was 25 MK. This is now 18 MK, which gives you better definition. It's noticeable. We've been out obviously in the fields and in barns inside, and it is noticeable. It is better. Like I said, the magnification's gone from 20 times to 10 times, which for me is again better. Another thing which is quite impressive, the Helion actually had 16 gigabyte of memory. This is now 64, which is quite impressive. That's a lot of storage for what you're doing, and needed, because of the amount of recording we've done this last couple of days. We've probably gone past the 16, so we're at the 64 is quite welcome. It's a quick startup, couple of 5 seconds probably. Click the button. By the time you got it up to your eye and scan round, it's on. So we find that the price, I believe, is around about 3,400. So you've got to justify whether you want to spend that sort of money. But this is what I always say to people: it's not what it costs; if you're in that sort of ballpark to spend that sort of money, it's not what it costs, it's what you get for your money. And that is a very worthwhile purchase. It's also upgradable for any future updates that come along. Connect to the internet, upgrade it, and it's there. There'll be different reticles and different screenshots and all sorts that you can put on there, which will be perfect. You know, rather than having to go and buy the latest spotter, which got all this on it. IPX7. I think we actually tested that the last couple of days. The amount of rain we've had, but I've had to have 2 change of clothes. I was actually soaked to the bone. There's water running down my neck, and this has not blinked an eye at the water that was thrown at it. It's quite impressive. It is IPX7. You know, it will stand submerged for 30 minutes, I think it is. You know, correct me if I'm wrong. So that is quite impressive. It's now like a ballistic polymer they're making it out of, rather than the aircraft standard aluminium sort of chassis they've got. And what also, there's a rubbery feel to it, which is really grippy, which is something I like. And I know the cameraman quite likes it as well. We had to play with it, and it feels firm, and then it's not like you're trying to get your hand into a position to get a decent grip on it. The rubber grip for me is another welcome addition. There's a new type battery. I think they call it the the IPS7i or something like that. I'm not sure. Can't remember. LPS7i. That's it. I've got it written down here. It's a new style battery, and it comes with a battery, obviously. Now they're saying it 8.5 hours. We went out at 8, and we didn't get home while nearly 4 o'clock in the morning. The battery lasted all night. So I don't know, you know, you don't need any more than that. You can get spare batteries. So if there's a problem, if you're going to go through the day on the squirrels or the rabbits in the day, and you're going to night foxing, then you're coming back through again, spare battery, maybe 16 hours. I don't think, you know, you're never going to need any much more than that. So that's another thing. And like I say, it's a brand new battery style, and that is it. It looks to me like it's probably got 2 18650s in there. I may be wrong, but that's the sort of size and shape it is. Click it in, and there you go, away you go. Same sort of internally, you've got 8 different colour palettes. Your white hot, your black hot, your sepias, your red hot, and various other ones. For me, it's always white hot and black hot. I've always preferred them. The others have come into their own a little bit, but for me, I'll always use the white hot and black hot. Like I said before, the startup's really quick. But what is noticeable about it is the weight. It's heavier than I actually imagine it to be, but it's not an unpleasant weight. It's got the weight sort of gives you a feeling of quality. And you can get things that's new and they're really light and they feel tinny and plasticky or really light. This has got the heaviness brings an additional feel of quality to it for me. And it feels nice in the hand. Nice in the hand. A little bit too big to get in my pocket, but what I've done with this one, I've attached a lanyard so I can have it around my neck rather than on that, and I can let go of it and I can get onto the gun quite easily. Like I said, it's upgradable for various updates that's coming, and get this, 3-year warranty. So I would suggest, if you're thinking something like this, nip along to your nearest Pulsar supplier. There's plenty of information online that will you can find out what it is, and Thomas Jack's actually running demo nights up and down the country all the time. Pop along to one of those, try one of these out and tell me what you think. I'd be interested to know what other people think about it, but for me it's a belting scope, and like I say, it's going to apparently replace the Helion, and for me, £3,500, 3,400, I think it's probably worth it. It's a lot of money, but like it's probably a once in a lifetime purchase, and with it being upgradable, updatable with the latest updates, it should last you a lifetime. So I think, all in all, the kit they've sent us is fantastic. It's a massive thanks to Thomas Jacks. Really appreciate it. Like I say, we're one of the first people to get this, and it came on the Tuesday, and we were out. We had to get the scope fitted, get it zero, get out before the storm kicked in. So we didn't really have much chance to like do a bit of background checking, find out exactly how it works. We've been winging it out in the field and basically learning from, you know, sat on his arse, finding out how it's working. Which tells you one thing, it's quite easy to get to grips with. But like I said, it comes with a decent manual. The manual's straightforward and it tells you everything you need to know. That's about it. Massive thanks again to Thomas Jacks. Air Arms as well, and H&N for supplying the pellets. And hopefully you'll enjoy the video, and let us know in the comments. Appreciate it. See you on the next one. Thank you very much.